What's up, JetNation? Green Bean is back with you, and today we are excited over here, and by we, I mean me. We are excited to get into our full first-round mock draft. We're getting right into this. I want to just start, though, by telling you, every single pick I make here today is going to at least be based in reality. Maybe not the most realistic thing, but a little bit of touch of reality. I think everything that we do here today is going to at least be slightly realistic, but we are going to have a good time, okay? We're going to have a blast. There's going to be some trades. You better brace yourself. So, as we know, I am from JetNation.com. If you're not over at JetNation.com, you better get over there. All your Jets news is on the first page. And if you want to get into some conversation about the Jets, just click on forums and you'll see thousands of us in there arguing and calling each other names for disagreeing on whether or not to trade Jamal Adams and such, or who our backup quarterback should be. So if you're looking to have a good time talking Jets, JetNation is the place. So, Cincinnati Bengals are on the board. We have a lot of talk about the Bengals and who they're going to pick, and I think it's pretty much a consensus. Everybody thinks that they're going to take the LSU quarterback, Joe Burrow, and I, in fact, agree that is who they're going to take. But wait a second. What is that? Let's see. Hello? This is the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, I know. I forgot my name. I am the GM. So what's up? What can I do for you? Oh. Well, no, we're gonna go ahead and make our selection. We love him. We think he's great. Well, I appreciate that offer, but that's not going to be anywhere near enough. Oh, really? Well, that's definitely interesting. Oh, and okay. Well, now we're talking, but I think I need just a little bit more. I'll tell you what, you throw in pick number 81, and we have a deal. John Gruden. Okay, let's do it. You got yourself a deal. Alrighty. So, you're not going to believe who that was, even though I just told you. That was John Gruden and Mike Mayock. They were both on the phone. They were fighting for the phone. That's how those guys roll. And they want to trade with us, the Cincinnati Bengals, for the first overall pick. Can you believe it? So here's what they want to give. They want to send pick number 12, pick number 19, pick number 81, and Derek Carr to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, just before you get nuts, Derek Carr has thrown for 4,000 yards the last 2 years and just under 4,000 yards the 3 years preceding. So Derek Carr is no slouch, okay? Last year he had 21 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. So the Bengals think, you know what? Screw taking a shot on some number one draft quarterback kid. We're going to go with a 4,000-yard quarterback, and we're going to take 2 additional first-round picks and a second-round pick to allow that to happen. So the Raiders are on the board after sending Derek Carr to Cincinnati. The Raiders are trading up to take, you guessed it, Joe Burrow, the quarterback out of LSU. Good stuff. So, Washington Redskins are on the board. Now, they know who they're going to take, too. Everybody knows who they're going to take. They got a brand new coach in Ron Rivera. He's all psyched. He wants to put his stamp on the team, and he's going to go with, wait a second, where is the phone ding? Oh, that rings different. Okay. Hello, this is Ron Rivera's house. Oh, well, hello. Can I be honest? I knew you were going to call. Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. Yeah, party time. Okay, thank you. You're on the board. So that was the Miami Dolphins, and they would like the number 2 pick because they don't think that their guy is going to make it to pick number 5, and they're sending that pick number 5 to Washington with pick number 18 and pick number 39 for the right to move up 3 spots to pick number 2. And they are going to take Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback out of Alabama. So they're excited, and Washington they're moving back just a few spots, and they got a whole bunch of picks. Number 5, number 18, number 39. They're doing okay. So now we have Detroit on the clock. The Detroit Lions are on the clock. Now, is there going to be a phone call? Nobody loving the Detroit? Maybe it's the pizza up there. You ever heard of Jet's Pizza? You like it? I don't know. I've had it. I'll leave that to you guys. Maybe let me know in the discussion whether you think Jet's Pizza is worth a damn. But nobody's calling Detroit, so Detroit sees a fantastic opportunity, and they are going to scoop up somebody who was not supposed to be there. You want to know who it is? That's right, you knew it. Chase Young. Chase Young is going directly from Ohio State to the lovely tropical environment of Detroit, Michigan. And he's going to kick some ass up there for those guys. So that's that. Detroit, Chase Young from Ohio State. Now the New York Giants are on the board. The New York Giants, our most beloved cousins, the people who we share MetLife Stadium with. We love them to death. We're arm in arm in brotherly love. Now, Dave Gettleman, he really needs to make Daniel Jones be good. He needs this kid to be good. You remember how it went last year in the draft with Gettleman when he took Daniel Jones? I thought New York was going to burn down. That's what it felt like. So Daniel Jones not quite as bad as everybody thought. Had some good games, looked pretty good, but it's really important to Gettleman that particular pick actually makes it. So he is going to take the most turnkey, pro-ready offensive tackle on the board. I know you're thinking it's going to be that guy, but it's not. It is Andrew Thomas, the offensive tackle out of Georgia. And New York Giants fans are indecisively sad and happy. They don't know. They like the pick, but it's boring. But Andrew Thomas is going to kick some ass for them. He's going to cover the backside of Daniel Jones, and all is going to be well in New York, at least that side of town. The New Jersey side of New York. Poof! Just like magic, my hat is turned background. What do you think of that? My hat is turned background. I don't know if I've ever said that sentence before in my life, but nonetheless, it's turned around. And we are ready to see Washington and who they are going to pick. The Washington Redskins are, in fact, back on the clock. And wouldn't you know it, the phone is ringing again. Can you believe it? Washington is going to pick up the phone and see who it is. Hello, this is Ron Rivera and Daniel Snyder. I am them, yes. Okay. Well, no, I don't know, man. You wanted, look, we're friends, so I'll tell you, if it's not you, somebody else is going to end up trading with us. I already know it. They're already calling. Oh, yeah, my phone's been ringing off the hook. Well, I'll tell you what. Throw in your second round pick and I'll do that with you. Okay, let's do it. You're up. So, Ron Rivera is seemingly the master of this draft so far because, just like a magician, he is getting the Chargers to flip-flop picks. And for that pleasure, they are going to throw in pick number 37, their second-round pick, just for the right to flip right to where they are at pick number 5 from pick number 6. They got a little spooked. They thought somebody's going to sneak in there and take it, and you heard Ron Rivera played right along with it. So the Chargers are up, and they traded up to get quarterback Justin Herbert, the Oregon Duck. Very, very good quarterback. If he would have come out last year, he more than likely would have been the first quarterback selected. In this particular draft, he's the third quarterback off the board, but a very, very solid pick for the San Diego/Los Angeles Ram House Sharon Chargers. So now, guess who's on the board yet again? This is the third time I'm starting to like these guys. The Washington Redskins and Daniel Snyder's team is on the clock, and I think they've had just about enough moving around. They're getting nervous. They want one of the blue chippers. And you know what they're going to do? They are going to replace Josh Norman with the best quarterback in the draft. And by quarterback, I mean cornerback, of course. Mr. Jeff Okudah, the cornerback from Ohio State, Chase Young's teammate. and he is going to do great things for the Washington Redskins. Josh Norman will be an afterthought in about 44 seconds after Okudah walks into the building. So there you go. Washington takes Jeff Okudah with pick number 6, and on the board, running up with their pick is the Carolina Panthers. And they don't care. They don't want a phone call. They want their guy. They're taking Isaiah Simmons, the linebacker from Clemson. They don't want to hear anything from anybody. This hybrid guy, probably the finest athlete in the draft. They want him. They got him. Isaiah Simmons is going to the Carolina Panthers to make s'mores with Robbie Anderson. There he goes. Okay, now we got the Arizona Cardinals on the board. Wouldn't you like to see what they're thinking? You got all those guys, Klinghoffer and Sneed, or whatever that guy's name is, Keim. They're all in there, and they were going to take CeeDee Lamb, but Bill O'Brien is an idiot and called them and gave them the deal of the century for a wide receiver, so they don't need that guy anymore. So they are going to come on down the road. They are going to, don't forget, they signed their left tackle too. So they don't need it. But they do need a dominant right tackle, and for them, they love the combine of Mr. Tristan Wirfs, the offensive tackle out of Iowa. They don't care. You can say Jedrick Wills all day long. They watched the combine. They saw Tristan Wirfs lighting it up. He had a better high jump than half the cornerbacks and wide receivers, man. That guy, he lit it up at the combine, and the Arizona Cardinals were watching, and they love him. And now they have bookend tackles for their franchise quarterback, Kyler Murray. They're loving life right about now. And don't forget, they got a little guy named DeAndre Hopkins to hang out with Larry Fitzgerald for a little while. Not too shabby. I would love it if maybe the Jets were doing something like that. We don't ever see this kind of thing. But here we go. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the board. You know that they gave up 200 yards like 5 times last year on the ground. 200 yards rushing 5 or 6 times. They had 2 games where 2 separate rushers in the game gained over 100 yards. The center of their defense is very like Swiss cheese, so they are going to run to the podium with the card that says Derek Brown, the monster from Auburn, and they're happy as clams. They love it. They think he's going to do a good job shoring up the center of their defense, very similar to how the Jets thought Quinnen Williams and Leonard Williams were going to do the same thing, and whatever. But that's what they're doing. They believe what they'll believe, and that's good for me. So we have the Brownies up. Now, the Brownies, forever linked with the Jets because of a few reasons. One is Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold were in the same quarterback class, just like Kenny O and Tony Eason and Dan Marino and Elway and all those guys, Blackledge and all those fellas. They were linked forever because of their quarterback class. The same thing is going on here with Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, and a little, oh man, I feel bad for Josh Rosen, but he's still in the league. Don't forget about him. He's there. So they're forever linked. And don't forget that last year, 2 years ago now, Greg Williams was the interim head coach for the Cleveland Browns and got them to more wins than in the past decade. And they decided to fire him and hire a first-time offensive coordinator. Never even had a full season of offensive coordinator. And they hired him to be the head coach, and that imploded. So here we are. They have a franchise quarterback in Baker Mayfield. Believe it or not, they love him. It's not just about commercials and a beautiful wife. They love this guy, so they're going to protect him because his offensive line had issues last year. They are going to grab the monster of the draft, Mekhi Becton, out of Louisville. 6'7", 370 pounds to protect Baker Mayfield and become his personal bodyguard. They love it, and so does Baker Mayfield. All right, Jets fans, we're on the clock. We're on the clock. It's pick number 11. What are we going to do? Joe Douglas is psyched. It's his first draft pick ever. And all of a sudden, Oh, come on, Joe. That's not your ring. Joe Douglas. Maybe there's something else. Hello, Joe Douglas here. Oh, yeah. That's right. I know you. How you doing? All right. Yeah. We're getting calls. Sure thing. And man, not only are we getting calls, but I want the guy you want. I don't need to know who you want. I'm going to take the guy you want. You know I am. No, that's not enough. Third round. Yeah, look at the points. Look at the value chart. Pick number 77. All right. You got yourself a deal. So, Joe Douglas, in his first draft ever, gets a call from who? John Elway. We were just talking about John Elway in the 83 quarterback class. Maybe he heard us. Maybe that's what's going on here. We're all linked. So, the Denver Broncos would love to move up to pick number 11, and they would like to select Jerry Jeudy, the surgeon route runner from Alabama. Probably the best wide receiver in the draft, and Denver did not want to take any chances. There's quite a few wide receiver lovers between 11 and 15, and they just said, you know what, we're going to give you pick number 77, our third round pick, for the right to move up and grab the guy we want. Mr. Jerry Jeudy is heading down the road to Denver with the Broncos. So that puts the Bengals on the clock. Don't forget, they got pick number 12 from the Raiders. So remember too, so the Bengals got Derek Carr in that deal. So they're good with quarterback, man. They have a franchise quarterback, a 4,000-yard performer for the past 5 years. Solid NFL quarterback, and they would like to give him some toys to play with. So they're going to grab the fastest guy in the draft, Henry Ruggs, the third wide receiver, Alabama. They couldn't be happier. Derek Carr's happy. Everybody's making out over in Cincinnati. So at pick number 13, we have the 49ers, and they are on the clock. And I didn't get you a ringtone, so we're going to have to figure this out right now with the sounds and haptics and ringtone. What will it be? Hey, that was Joe Douglas's ring. Great minds think alike. Yellow. This is San Francisco. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Yep, I like the deal. Let's take it and make it official. All right, we're in. So, the Eagles want to trade with the Niners. Don't forget, I almost forgot to mention that this is now the 49ers pick. It was the Colts pick, but they traded it for DeForest Buckner, which I don't know what that's all about. So we'll just leave that one over here. Here you go. Put it right over there. And we're just going to go with the Niners have the pick. And they just traded it to Philadelphia for pick number 53. And they're going to swap pick number 156 for pick number 168. So, and they will get pick number 21, which is the Eagles. So the Niners slide back to 21, gain 53 out of it. And they swap 156 for 168 to give a little bit of value back to the Eagles because it was a little bit heavy on the value chart. So with the Eagles being on the board, you know who they want. They're going all day, every day, CeeDee Lamb. That's who they want. They traded up to get him, and they gave up enough capital to do it. They're grabbing CeeDee Lamb, the very, very big wide receiver from Oklahoma, and they couldn't be happier. So that brings Tampa Bay to the board. You got Tom Brady down there in Tampa Bay. He's making all kinds of friends. He's saying all the right things. They're making videos about him being the nicest guy ever. They took out all the deflating balls. They took out all of the taking lower money so he could have a backdoor deal with Bob Kraft, making vitamins, and we'll buy your vitamins and we'll just blah, blah, blah. We'll pretend that we're only give you $10 million a year. All that aside, it's all happies and smiles down in Tampa Bay. With Arians, and they have their new quarterback. It is what it is, and they want to protect him, so they're grabbing the best lineman on the board at this time. Some believe maybe even the best offensive tackle in this class, Mr. Jedrick Wills out of Alabama, the monster offensive tackle. He also had a good combine, by the way. And they couldn't be happier. Tom Brady gets his offensive tackle because you know what, Tom? You just might not let him hold like they did in New England. So you need somebody that can actually do the job. There you go. Enjoy it. And here we go. The Jets are on the board again. The Jets are on the board. Pick number 15. Don't forget, they just traded with Denver. So now they are on the board. But Joe Douglas, he's got a little bit of a plan. He's not going to wait for a call. He's going to make a call. Hello, is this the Atlanta Falcons? How you doing? It's the Jets. We're neighbors. Yeah. You excited? You going to make your pick soon? Yeah, me too. I'm on the board right now, though. And the thing is that number one, I'm getting some calls, and I have a feeling that we probably want the same guy that you do. And I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to be presumptuous, but I do want to tell you to take a look at our defensive backfield last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think of those guys? Yeah, I know I had to cut them. I know. Well, I'm still paying him $12 million, but that's how bad he is. I had to get rid of him anyway. The other guy? No, he just plain sucked. I'm just cutting him. I get the money back. Yeah. So here's what I'm offering you. I'm going to take that guy that you want. I'll flip with you for a fourth. You give me a fourth round pick, you get the guy that you and your team are high-fiving about thinking he's coming. I'm telling you, I'm going to take him. So give me a fourth, you get your guy, we'll swap picks. How's that sound? And I'll buy you dinner. Stone crabs. Okay. We good? All right. Go get your guy. There you go. Joe Douglas wheeling and dealing. He gets to floopity-flu with the Falcons. And he is going to take pick 16. The Falcons jump up to pick 15 where the Jets got from Denver, and the Falcons select C.J. Henderson, the cornerback out of Florida. By and large, the second best cornerback in this draft. He's going to be a star. The Falcons love him, and they traded up to get him. And the Jets slide back one spot, and here we go. Are the Jets going to pick? We got to do 3 drum rolls today. Isn't that neat? 3 drum rolls for the Jets. Are they going to pick? Is the phone ringing? Does Joe Douglas want to make a call? Does he want to take a call? No, he is feeling the heat at this point. He's going to get the tackle that he wanted all along. Anyway, Mr. Athletic, Mr. Tried and True, left tackle, not a right tackle, going to be moved over to left tackle, somebody who plays left tackle as their main spot. We're selecting Josh Jones out of Houston, the offensive tackle that is going to protect Sam Darnold for the remainder of his career. That's what's going to happen here. Joe Douglas just protected Sam Darnold as he told his mother he would do, and we're all good. Josh Jones coming to Florham Park to work with the Jets whenever we're allowed to get together again. So that brings us to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we're waiting for a call. There are rumors that maybe the Dallas Cowboys would like to procure one Jamal Adams from the Jets. This was the pick we were talking about. It's pick number 17. Are they going to call? Where's Jerry Jones? Does he want Jamal Adams? Does he want to give us this pick and another first and an offensive lineman like so many fans dream? This is going to happen. Is it going to be real? No, it is not. It is a pipe dream. It's never happening because Dallas can just walk up to the podium and select Grant Delpit from LSU, a safety, and not pay $17 to $19 million a year and give away next year's first or this year's third or an offensive tackle or whatever it is that Jets fans were dreaming about getting. It's not happening. Grant Delpit going to the Dallas Cowboys at pick number 17. And just like that, I have a Jets banner behind me. It's magical today. I'm having a great great time. So on the clock now is the Washington Redskins organization. They're back on the clock, and they have some work to do because Trent Williams didn't play last year. He's not going to play for them this year. They need a left tackle. The bad news is that Morgan Moses also is not looking like he's going to be remaining with the team. So they need to replace both tackles. The best tackle on their board happens to be a right tackle, and they are going to go with the 6'4", or actually 6'7", 340-pound mammoth man, Isaiah Wilson, the offensive tackle out of Georgia, the other bookend across from Andrew Thomas. That line was beefy. So the Washington Redskins are taking the other side of beef, and they're going to grab Isaiah Wilson at pick number 18. Now the Bengals are on the clock again, and they're having a good time this draft. Washington and the Bengals are killing it, and interestingly enough, they're getting a call, it looks like, right about now. So I wonder who it can be. Let's take a look, shall we? Hello, this is the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay. Yes. Oh, you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that sounds like a good deal. But here's the thing, Bill. We hate the Patriots, and we're taking great delight in the idea that you guys are crumbling. So anything that we could do not to help you is what we're going to do. How's that sound? Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't care. Yeah, we hate you. Okay, so you're going to keep your own pick and stop calling us, okay? All right, thank you. Bye. So they got a call from the Patriots, but it sounds like they have zero interest in dealing with one Bill Belichick, and they are going to take the best defensive player on their board. They're going to grab K'Lavon Chaisson out of LSU, the edge rusher. And they love him. They could have gone tackle, but Jonah Williams, the number 11th overall pick from last year's draft, is healing nicely. Remember, he had that unfortunate injury in training camp last year, so he's been healing all year. He's ready to go. They have their starting left tackle of the future, and they're going to go defense with pick number 19 and grab K'Lavon Chaisson, this speedy edge rusher. Now we have the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock at pick number 20. Now, the interesting thing with the Jaguars, they have told us over and over again they don't need a quarterback, so we're going to be looking elsewhere. They believe and they are confident in Minshew to start and take their team to the next level starting this year. But here's the thing. Now that they're on the clock, they've changed their mind. They are going to fall in love with Jordan Love, the quarterback out of Utah State. Minshew right now, he's eating a bowl of spaghetti. He's he bought into the hype. Maybe he can battle for the job. I don't know. But Jordan Love, they're saying, is the best pure passer in this entire draft. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are psyched to be able to grab him at pick number 20. So we have the 49ers on the clock. The 49ers are on the clock at pick number 21. Remember, this is the pick that they got. What did we do? We traded earlier with, they had the Colts pick and we traded with the Eagles. This was the Eagles' original pick, number 21. And the Niners are super duper psyched to be grabbing T. Higgins, the 6'4", 216-pound wide receiver out of Clemson. They have Deebo Samuel, who's a stud, but after losing Emmanuel Sanders, they feel like a nice 6'4" T. Higgins fits the bill. It's what the doctor ordered to go on the other side of Deebo, and they have a nice, solid wide receiving core via their pick at number 21. That brings us to the Vikings. Oh, and it's looking like the run on wide receivers is beginning, my friends. The Vikings are not wasting any time. They're jumping right in and they're grabbing Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver out of LSU, 6'1", speedy, good route runner, all that. He's one of my favorite receivers in this draft, if not my favorite overall. I love him to death, and the Vikings are replacing Stephon Diggs with Justin Jefferson. And they feel good about that. Well, the Patriots are on the clock. The Patriots are on the clock just like that. And in Bill Belichick fashion, they are going to go a little bit outside of the box here, and they're going to go for the hybrid wide receiver tight end. They've been missing Gronkowski, and N'Keal Harry didn't necessarily come in and land as solidly as they may have hoped. They have no Tom Brady. They need an outlet. They are going to reach, and they're going to grab potentially the most dynamic player in this whole draft, Chase Claypool, the wide receiver / tight end out of Notre Dame. What a combine that guy had, huh? Megatron-like numbers. That brings us to pick number 24. Let me flip over here. I got all my notes, you see. Pick number 24, the Saints are on the clock. Now, Michael Thomas is there. They did sign Emmanuel Sanders, but this is Drew Brees' most likely his last year. They're going all in on the offense. They're going to grab Denzel Mims, the wide receiver out of Baylor, another one of my personal favorites. I love him. I love his physical play. Big-bodied wide receiver out of Baylor. The Saints are stocking up. They're loading up for Drew Brees' final push toward a championship. That brings us to the Vikings are back on the clock. Pick number 25, and they wish they could have grabbed Trevon Diggs. They're looking for a cornerback at this pick. They really like that kid, but they couldn't very well draft him after sending his brother to Buffalo. Now, could they? They got good value for him, though. What, a first, a fourth, a fifth, next year's fifth, or a fifth, a sixth, a first, a fifth, a sixth, and next year's fourth. Not bad for Stephon Diggs, but they've come to the conclusion they can't very well draft his brother in the first round. So they are going to go with cornerback Kristian Fulton. And they love him. He's a great cornerback. He's going to be a star up there in Minnesota. So that brings us to Miami. Back on the clock after trading up for Tua early. They are here at pick number 26. And it looks like, what is that? That's not this is what we were looking for, because we are in Miami. This is the Miami ring. Brian Flores fitting right in Miami with that ring. Hello, this is Brian Flores and Chris Greer. Oh, hey, Bill. Oh, you're looking to try to get up in the first round again, are you? Yeah, I hear you. I know, we're old friends. I know, yep, you helped me out a lot in my career. I technically do owe you. But here's the thing. I never really liked you, and I'm really looking for a nice big Patriots collapse. So we're not going to be helping you at all. Matter of fact, I talked to quite a few other teams, and I think we're all in agreement that nobody likes you, and we're hoping that you just crumble and retire. Yeah. So go to hell. How's that? Okay. All right. See you later. So again, the Patriots try to make a trade with the Miami Dolphins in division. They think that's what they want to do. They want to go in division. Bill Belichick's getting tricky. He thinks his old pal Brian Flores is gonna help him out, but no dice. The Miami Dolphins are looking to try and replace Mr. Tunsil at the left tackle position, and they're going to grab more than likely the best tackle left on the board, potentially. Austin Jackson, the offensive tackle out of USC. Another big-bodied, beefy man who's going to be a pretty damn good starter for the Dolphins, unfortunately. Pick number 27, we're cruising now. Pick number 27, the Seattle Seahawks are on the board, and they cannot believe that this guy slid all the way to pick number 27. There were rumblings of him potentially being a top 10 or top 15 pick. So they're going to scoop him right up. They're going to reach in, and they are going to grab A.J. Epineza, the edge rusher out of Iowa. Personally don't like him very much as a first-round pick, but again, value is there. Seattle likes him, and that's who they're taking. A.J. Epineza, the edge rusher from Iowa. Now that brings us to the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore is interesting because that's who the team that is going to be on the phone here really has been waiting to call. So let's see how it goes here. Hello, DaCosta. Oh, hey, Joe. How you doing? Yeah. Yep, we can do it. I know we had that talk earlier. We can go ahead and do it. All right. So I'm going to get pick number 48. You're going to throw in pick number 119, and I get Avery Williamson, right? Okay, 48, 119, Avery Williamson, our new starting inside linebacker. All right, have at it. Take pick number 28. Take pick number 28, you bastard. All right, enjoy. So, the Baltimore Ravens have chosen to accept the deal from Joe Douglas. They're giving Avery Williamson pick number 48 and pick number 119, which is the pick that the Jets gained flipping spots with the Atlanta Falcons earlier. No big deal. It was never ours in the first place. So we throw that in, and the Jets are on the board at pick number 28. We snuck back into the first round, and the Jets did that to grab the meanest wide receiver in the whole class, the biggest, meanest, hardiest, Chris Ivoryest wide receiver, Laviska Shenault. He was never making it to pick 48, and they wanted to go in and they want to grab him. They think the injuries are not a concern. They think this guy just needed to heal up, and he's going to be our starting wide receiver. He's going to be manhandling people. He's a great blocker, and the Jets love him. They traded Avery Williamson, like I said, and their second-round pick and pick number 119 for the privilege of moving up and grabbing Colorado's wide receiver, Laviska Shenault. Now, that brings us to the Titans at pick number 29. They are going to go to Penn State, and they're going to grab Yatir Gross Matos. Did I say that right? Yatir Gross Matos. Yatir Gross Matos. Yatir Gross Matos. So Vic Beasley's not enough. They're going to go and they're going to fortify their edge with the Penn State Monster Man. He is 6'5", 265 pounds. The Packers are on the clock, and they're looking for someone to pair with Devontae Adams. Brandon Ayuk is the perfect complement to that man's game. They are going to be dynamic together. Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State is heading on over to Green Bay to join the Packers. Pick number 31, the Niners are on the board, and they're feeling pretty fortunate because the Vikings had that whole little weird Diggs dispute, internal struggle going on, and they're going to reach in and grab a guy that, for all intents and purposes, should be gone already. They're grabbing cornerback Trayvon Diggs, and they could not be happier. Now, we are going to end the first round. Can you believe it? It feels like months since we started this video. Because for me, it did start months ago, the research. But here we are. We're wrapping it up with the Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, the people that inspired so much Jamal Adams' hate when we passed on their MVP quarterback, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. They are going to grab another Patrick out of LSU. They're grabbing one of the most stout linebackers in the whole class, Patrick Queen. Their linebackers are a little slow. Patrick Queen is coming in. You know, just a second. Their linebackers are considered slow even after trading for Darren Lee. Does that make any sense? What is Darren Lee doing up there? Nothing. So the 6th-round pick looks pretty good right about now that we got for Darren Lee, because they're going to go ahead and draft another linebacker, even with a former 1st-round pick, Darren Lee, in the house. They're going to grab Patrick Queen, the linebacker out of LSU, and they could not be happier. He is a stud. Make no mistake. There was another guy we were thinking about at the linebacker, Mallory. I can't, just spacing out on his name. But Patrick Queen is going to be quite the something for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, remember, I am from JetNation.com. If you haven't gone on JetNation, you need to get on there. All the YouTube comments and stuff there, the conversations we're involved in, that is times 200 at JetNation. If you want to talk Jets football, get on JetNation. If you want to listen to the best Jets podcast out there, go to JetNation's podcast with Glenn Naughton and Alex Varallo. They had Kristian Dyer on last week. They had Paul Alexander on the week before. It's one of the most respected and well-run podcasts in the podcast world for the Jets. And guys, I couldn't be more excited. We are going to be getting into the draft in just a few days. I'm psyched, I'm psyched, I'm psyched. So what do you think of this draft? What do you think of what I did? You think the Raiders are going to trade up for the quarterback in the beginning? Do you think the Packers are going to do that? You think the other guys are going to do the other thing? What do you think? Give me a buzz. Let me know what you're thinking. Go Jets.